DefMars is coming in as the upper bracket champion, so that means that he will have a bit of a lead here. He does have a series lead. This means that DefMars needs to win this one best of 5 to claim the tournament. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT needs to win this series and then has to win another series as well to claim the win instead. DefMars needs to win one best of 5, meanwhile ZaRDieNT needs to win a best of 5 and a best of 3. But here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Storm Push, we have the blue Zerg player, himself, representing Team 3D Clan. It is DefMars. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the red Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is ZaRDieNT. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets as we do get into our series. The drone, as we're going for a proxy hatch across the map, will eventually work its way through the push that is Storm Push. Does make his way in and show us what you got. Do we commit into the proxy hatchery? Let's go. DefMars does expand back at home, never mind. So he does go for his back at home expansion, does expand on the natural. The drone moves in just to harass, just to be a nuisance, most likely not to commit into a proxy hatchery. Has gone proxy hatch before and does force a big reaction here. 2 more SCVs off the mineral line, so nice moves here by DefMars, forcing some inefficiencies out of ZaRDieNT. Let's go. Oh, only 7 maps. Oh, okay. I see. Drone pulls away. Sure, we were talking about this with Kura last time, but this map reminds me of Mapper's Delights. I don't know if you remember that, but I don't know if you were active at the time, Patches. This would have been early COVID, like 2021, 2020 era of StarCraft, where Mapper's Delights was like a fun tournament that was made that pushed the bounds of like just quirky, weird maps. Wasn't I know what it is? Okay. But they also had like some weird tubing systems, and if you remember, they had steam vents that actually push units up into the air. If you remember, so he tried to push himself forward. Yes, the ZvT. But guys, imagine there being like pockets of like steam vents where you can like park a marauder, and the marauder can shoot up because the marauder is lifted up into the air. It's lifted up into the air, which means it can shoot like other air units. Zealots, you can like set up zealots and also have them up in the air as well to like also like swipe away at units as well with their melee attacks in the air. So there were like massive like the steam vents that like pushed up the units into the air. There were like these massive like acceleration like tubing systems, which I believe used this system as well. Like it was just like hyper quirky maps were made. It's crazy. Design your own melee mechanics to add into your maps. Soul wells, which collect the supply of units that die near them, and a fool can attack them with these allied souls. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. But yeah, it was really cool, a really cool idea, but I don't think anything ever came of that, in the sense that like they allowed for these interesting new quirky mechanics to be added, but yeah, I don't think that was ever implemented elsewhere, unfortunately. Just for like the one event. Bienvenidos, Sushang. Bienvenidos. As from here, we're building up again, and so far it's been a very slow, very tame start to the game, outside of the initial drone harassment, of course. DefMars claiming his own third, droning, saturating, building up into his own Roach Ravager, into his own lair tech. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT massing up into his own mech. Again, we do expect to see a lot of mech out of ZaRDieNT. He's rarely playing bio, so second factory into Blue Flame, into a third expansion as well. Despite how chaotic this tournament has been, and even their previous series, we're actually getting into what looks to be a very slow, calm, cool, collected mid-game here between ZaRDieNT and DefMars. It's been a while. We're calming down, but we're calming down. As we're amassing up Blue Flame Hellions, so we'll see if ZaRDieNT is doing this from map control, if he intends to dive into a mineral line and try to commit. But more Hellions are amassing. Blue Flame is almost done. We're getting there. Sadly, Map is Alive wasn't officially linked to Blizzard or anything. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but like, the idea of like showcasing these new mechanics, but that never really coming to fruition was a bit of a shame, right? Showing that these things could have been done. Like I still do envy those Steam events. Like that was crazy. Just a way to push map design. Hellions do commit in. Yeah, they go for the dive, and we don't wall off in time. Drones are going to get roasted. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6, getting up to almost 10 drone kills. Ay. 10, there we go. 10 drones do go down. Nice pick up here by ZaRDieNT. And again, DefMars, he did wall off well at his own natural, but could not defend his third. Yeah, could not defend critical damage. Behind this, we're redroning, resaturating. ZaRDieNT still maintains all those Hellions, rotating around and building up into Battle Mech. So Battle Mech is on the horizon. Hellions are going to be zoned away. Behind this, DefMars, he's not committing, he's still droning. He's still droning, still saturating. From here, he can now claim a 4th base, which I would say at this point is late. So late 4th expansion for DefMars, as ZaRDieNT does build up into an equivalent economy, equivalent base count, I should say. Interesting. So late 4th expansion, infestation bits on the way, taking up in towards Hive Tech. Now, what I'm most curious by is Patches was saying earlier that there are a bunch of new kind of units and different Hive Tech upgrades available in that are, of course, locked behind Hive that we have not experienced here tonight. We might get there, right? The Infestors, Infested Terran, Swarm Host, and the new ability as well, being able to attack in the air. Curious if we embrace any of that. Or even Hive Tech Roaches, true. Hive Tech Roaches. 1 supply, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Give us the 1 supply roaches. As Cyclones that lock on, they do punish. As we mentioned, the 4th base being late here does limit the production of DefMars, so he's got to be careful. He does have to be careful, getting bullied, getting punished. Yeah, 3, 4 roaches going down. Brutal losses, brutal damage there. Behind this, Infestors are amassing, but I believe that they do require an upgrade for Infested Terran, right? Let's see. No, it's not an upgrade. They just get it by default. Interesting. Let's go. They can incubate. Lovely. So Hive is on the way. Hydrogen gets thrown down instead. We'll see what direction DefMars takes us in. I'm assuming that we're working towards 1 supply of roaches, but that makes sense in my mind. But we'll see. I'm hoping he knows about it. I recall that we casted an Eon not too long ago on this balance patch, and we were discussing and talking about Hive Tech roaches for so long, and it never happened. Then he showed up in the chat afterwards. He was like, "Wait, what? Those were like 1 supply roaches?" So he's like, "What?" Eon didn't even know. Didn't even know, back. We have the bile upgrade on the way. This does mean that biles land faster, so there's less time to react, less time to respond. There you go. I just think they're cooked, baby. True. Yeah, Zolkins are brutal. Decent fungal looking down the army. Very nice chain fungals. Yeah, fungals do connect. Cyclones they get punished. And the Charger does hold its own. Behind this, working towards Lurker Tech, cashing out another Cyclone. Yeah, brutal trades here from ZaRDieNT. Brutal trades. As with that, ZaRDieNT will lose map control. We're still going to be rallying in. Jesus. Calm down. Rapid expulsion. Okay. Feels Ravager, man. Yo, we're getting the Banshee upgrade. Let's go. There's like Banshee like AoE's like splash damage in a line of fire upgrade. Like sure. I don't know why Banshees get that, but I mean it does give them more utility when it comes to a main army. Oh, the infested, let's go. We get the Terrans. They get thrown down. And they're out of range of the tanks. They're out of range. Ooh, they're getting dragged in. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. They get dragged in. They get baited. So an A move. It lasted a couple of seconds, but I appreciate we sold them. Infested Terrans. You know what's crazy? There are people that are watching and even playing StarCraft at the moment that never experienced Infested Terran because they got removed, like coming into Legacy. But they were a big part of StarCraft for a while. Big part. Infamously so. I didn't really get to experience them. I mean, definitely you could. I mean, there's a world where maybe we could have kept them. Like, obviously they. I would say that they went too far when they added the rockets, if you recall. Like, they added the anti-air of the Infested Terran to be stronger, to be much more stronger with their rockets to help against Skytoss, and it became a bit absurd. And especially after the problem was that in Heart of the Swarm, Heart of the Swarm scarred everyone when it came to energy-based units. So like they had to scale back the Swarm host and they had to scale back the Infestor alongside it, just because of just how extreme Heart of the Swarm was when it came to like the energy-based unit meta. So like they had to like just pull it back in every aspect, which is understandable, like why that happened. So now we're getting into Nidus. They're actually reworking them, but decided to remove them instead. If I recall correctly. Oh, there you go. I can't quite recall. So now another fungal lands, another fungal. More Cyclones going down. Nidus Swarm did finish, distracting the main army. We have Mass Banshee. Oh my god, he's crazy. Building up with a Mass Banshee, but the main army still crumbles, and DefMars is gaining ground. He's gaining more ground here, getting behind the mineral line. Does move in. Shows the Infested Terran. No! Lands a fungal. Oof. Fungals do graze the army. Banshees they will clean up. Show us the AoE. Oh my god, the vials. Yeah, the boss is still punishing. More Nidus Swarms are finishing up as well. Nothing in the Nidus though. Yeah, nothing in the Nidus. Lurker still being annoying. Does force a cancel. Roaches they do tunnel out of the Nidus into the natural. And just harassing, just buying more time. As we build up more Hydras. They just keep coming. And Nidus Swarms are finally going to be dealt with. As it all settles, what army are we actually building up here? That's what I'm most curious about, because it looks like, yeah, we're still stuck on Mass Hydra. So we're kind of veering away from Roaches into Hydra tech. I believe that is the Roach upgrade. Yeah. The one supply Roach. Crazy. What's it called? Like, are we... Hydra themselves up in. Bifurcated incubation. Okay. Interesting. As we're just pushing into a siege line, by the way. The Banshees, they pop up. They take down every single Hydra. Ay. The Mass Banshee. The Mass Banshee's crazy. Your Banshees, they do overwhelm. And unless I missed it, I still don't think I've seen the AoE. Did we finish the research? We did. They clean up. We do have a research, but they have yet to use it. Like the carpet bombing. The carpet bombing. Does ZaRDieNT have a hotkey? True. Does he have it hotkey? He might not know. Oh, it's a part of the attack. Oh. Okay. Sorry, we'll have to notice it. It just changes the auto attack. That's crazy. Yeah. We'll try to. Is there? Sorry, I'm looking for a visual effect. Is it different visually? Okay. I think I can. Yeah. I see. Yeah, you can see it like cascade forward, right? Yeah, see. It like lands and it like ricochets forward. Okay. As GG gets called as the mech army does overwhelm, and ZaRDieNT will break through. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. In the end, ZaRDieNT will overwhelm. Again, did feel like DefMars, he had a bit of an issue when it came to what the Hive Tech army should look like. He was doing well for himself when it came to the mid game. He was shutting down the Cyclones quite well. He was harassing, he was counterattacking, Night Swarms all over the place, but he didn't really have too much of a defensive army. You could maybe argue that the Lurker push that he had towards the end of the game, towards the tail end, where he lost all of his Lurkers, I mean, that was him overextending. If that hadn't occurred, then maybe he has his Lurker count, maybe he has a robust Lurker army to be able to hold on, defend, and elongate that game, building up and maxing out. But alas, he lost all of his Lurkers. He had a weaker defensive line. GG, well played. With that, ZaRDieNT does bounce back, and we're going to be loading into game number 2. We'll see if DefMars can make a series out of this. We'll see if ZaRDieNT can keep that ball rolling. Let's go. Shows visually, but it's not huge. It's very subtle. Based on the visual of the upgrade, I was expecting like some massive like explosions pushing forward. I was expecting something a little bit more bombastic, but did see it. One supply roach. Who came up with that idea? Patches. He's an animal. Oh, no. But again, we didn't quite prioritize that either. Like, there was definitely like a road that could have been taken instead of going into Hydras to just commit into one supply roaches from there. But we went into it a little bit later and it didn't really come into play. But here we go. Going to be loading into our next game and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Lumen. We have the blue Zerg player, or the blue Zerg player himself. Representing Team 3D Clan, it is DefMars. Let's go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the green Terran player. We have the Hyper 1 Terran. It is ZaRDieNT. Let's go. Let us go. Say one more time what the upgrade does. Sorry, the Banshee upgrade actually turns the auto attack into an AoE like line attack, where it fires and then it like ricochets forward and does more damage in a line. So its auto attack becomes AoE splash damage, which is cool. It just means that the Banshee has a little bit more viability coming in towards the late game, as it does require the fusion core. Requires the fusion core to build up. Jeez, okay. As ZaRDieNT, he commits across the map, going for 1 racks back at home and 2 across the map. Gas is going to be taken, and we're going into what looks to be 3 racks Reaper, I would imagine. Let's go. Here we go. The racks are amassing. Major cap comes from the campaign. Oh, there you go. From the campaign. I had no idea. I mean, it's been years since I played the Wings of Liberty campaign. Is that what it's from? No shot. But I literally haven't played it since it released. That's crazy. It's crazy. Last played in 2010. Insane. As Reapers are amassing, again, we have our 3x Reaper. So far, DefMars is unaware. He has not scattered here on the right-hand side. The Overlord will eventually come across this, eventually. Until then, we have our early spine. Okay, early spines are on the way. Queens are amassing as well. Eva Chambers in production for the Swarm Queens. But the Brood Mothers, we're getting there. Oh. So far, Reapers are kind of away. Bearing in mind they're under upgrades. These are vanilla Reapers. But they can still trade well. They can still trade well here. Catching out more Lings. Spine is repositioning. DefMars, he wants to fight for the low ground. Swarm Queen is on the way. No, he stops it. Oh, God. Yeah, the Spine Crawler is taking a lot of hits here. And is going to go down. Does get one shot off. Gets one. Gets two. Two shots. Two shots. Two volleys. Swarm Queen does finish. We're getting up the ramp. Oh, nice KDA charge. Saves the Reaper. Can we shuffle? Shuffle back. No. The Reaper. Okay, Reaper does pull back. Jesus. Regenerate. So far, good trades here by ZaRDieNT, but we have another Spine on the way, and now we have two Queens. We have two Queens. Third Queen is in production. If we can build up that Queen count, we can hold on. We can hold. We have a Transfuse. Two. Speaking of, Clutch Transfuse. Lands one. Lands one Transfuse. There's one Transfuse left. Spine Crawler will finish with the completion of the Spine Crawler. I believe DefMars holds. 3 Queens on the Spine. Yeah, no Reaper Cliff. Yeah, no Cliff. Oh, actually, my apologies, there is. Oh, the boy. The boys. Let's go. Yeah, the boys have arrived. A KDA charge on the Queens. Oh, dust around. Okay. Dust around. Transfuse does land. Gets one Queen, but there's still 4 more Queens behind this. Yeah, the Queen count is too high. 12 SCVs go down, and DefMars does hold, does defend. And with that, we're going to make a series out of it. Making a series out of it. ZaRDieNT cannot break through. Not like this. The Queens are so thick. Oh, God. They're huge back. GG. DefMars does survive, and we do have a back and forth. We're going to game 3. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Mass Reaper here, for the most part, didn't get scattered. At least the proxies didn't get scattered, but we did see that the early Spine Crawler is being built already here by DefMars. Also, I should emphasize that DefMars did get an early Evo Chamber. Early Evo Chamber allowing for the early Swarm Queens to defend, so he was able to build them up. Without that Evo Chamber, I mean, I would imagine Reapers would overwhelm, and Reapers would kill. Like, without those Swarm Queens, it'd be such a weaker defense there for DefMars. So luckily, he did have the Evo Chamber in time, morphed in the Queens. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do have a tied 1-1 scoreline, and now we're loading into game number 2. Let's go. Oh, I forgot about that. True, Queens, they can eat drones. That regenerates their energy, though. It does not heal them up. But I did forget about that. They can devour. As I've lost our players. Oh. Okay, we're good. As game 3 is going to be on washout. Here we go, going to be loading to game 3 here, and Washout is, again, a bit of a larger map, bit of a longer rush distance by ground. I would imagine we're going to be slowing things down a little bit here, building up in towards the mid-game once again, but we'll see. See if ZaRDieNT has something else up his sleeve. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Washout, we have our blue Zerg player, himself representing 3D Clan, tying up the series. It is DefMars. Once again, moving out with that drone. One day he will proxy. And spawning in the right hand corner, we have the green Terran player representing Team Hyper 1. It is ZaRDieNT. Here comes that drone. Once again, we have seen DefMars go for the proxy hatchery before, not in this series so far, but he has been going for these drone scouts. Drone scouts just to harass, just to punish, just to threaten. And this time, do we go for the hatchery? We have the money for it. There it is. Hatchery is going to be thrown down right outside of the natural. Oh boy. Okay. And we'll see if ZaRDieNT does go for the SCV scouts or if he just goes for the expansion on the low ground. If he does cut corners, oh, double gas? Wait, what? Double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC out of ZaRDieNT. This is going to get weird. So it's going to be a later expansion, later CC, a faster factory means faster helium production as well. We could turn this into a one base all in, just blindly. We could just blindly go for a one base all in, and DefMars would be in a bit of a weird place if that was the case. DefMars ideally wants to punish an economic build. If there was a CC moving down to low ground to expand, then things would be a little bit more awkward. ZaRDieNT does scout and does confirm. Okay, he scouts, he confirms. Setting up his depot wall. And we're moving out with the drone, going for the spine rush. So spine crawlers are on the way. Just the one drone. It's a very light commitment so far. I mean, still a hatchery, of course. Drone moves in. Ooh, the Reaper does scare him off a little bit. Yeah, the drone. No, he tries to go in. Spine crawler gets thrown down, but will be cancelled. Yeah, will be denied, will be cancelled. Cannot finish, not like this. Saves the drone by morphing in the Evo chamber. There's value in letting this finish, actually. There is value here to morph in the Swarm Queen. Boys are being pulled, focusing down the Evo chamber, and Lings are slowly amassing. Oh! Does nibble away at the Reaper. That was two hits on the Reaper. Queen is now out. Do we morph in? We're morphing! Let's go! Is that worth it, though? Is it worth going for the proxy Swarm Queen? Like, Storm Queen is good, but is it that good? Oh my god, we get around. He's crazy. He knocks the queen out of position. The egg, the cocoon. Hellion has arrived. Remember, this was a double gas opener, faster factory. No CC, by the way, into 2 more Raxes. It is a one base all in. Yeah, the one base all in setup. Ooh, the queen takes a lot of damage. Nice KDA charges here by ZaRDieNT. Nice charges. Michael is being rebuilt. The queen's getting low. Yeah, the queen is so low here. And the queen will go down. One more volley. Massive pickup. Takes down the queen. There's one queen left. And if we lose control of this location, then we lose control of the spine crawler. And Lings are forced to engage. So low Lings going down. Queen does finish morphing. But ZaRDieNT's cleaning this up. Like, at this point, the Lings, so many of them have been thrown away. Sure, we have a spine crawler, but especially with the one base setup here, like, I don't think it matters. You have a Widowmine, more Reapers. ZaRDieNT is perfectly fine. Again, if ZaRDieNT had committed to a CC, different story, but there's just plenty to work with here. Okay, getting up to 3 queens, so building up the queen counts. I believe one of them just waddled across the map. Just went across. CC's on the way. Queens are within range of the factory. Boys are being pulled. Cyclone's going to be a game changer here. We need a little bit more time for the Cyclone. My shot goes off. Police are flooding in. Oh, we're too thick. Get out of the way. Oh my god. There we go. As we do surround the tech lab. Tech lab is going to be sniped. SCVs are engaged. They do surround. We have a transfuse. Oh my god. Clutch transfuse. Yeah, very clutch. Cyclone does pop out, but that's going to be 23 SCVs. Every SCV goes down. Critical damage. Ay, ay, ay. He fought too hard for his production. He lost everything. There's a refund just to afford anything. As Cyclone takes a lot of hits, a lot of damage. There's no SCV to repair the Cyclone. The link. Oh no, the mine shot. Oh my god, massive connection. Yeah, it does connect, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, in the end, DefMars, he breaks on through, cleans up the army. There's nothing left. There's one Reaper remaining. And one Widow Mine. Oh, it's cloaked. Oh. No shot. Are we really? I mean, hey. Throughout all of this, drones were being killed. But there's still drones. There's still a couple of drones left over. We can still mine. These Reapers were across the map. And we can mule. True. ZaRDieNT can mule. DefMars, he has 2 drones. He has 2 drones back at him. The mine shot again! No! God, the efficiency. Okay. Mine shot goes off. The mine shot goes off. The mules are mining. Reapers are cleaning up the Zerglings. Mining is still denied. Spine Crow is still catching up more reinforcements. Reapers are moving out. Now, there's a world, if the Reapers, if they can kill every drone, but the Spine Crawler might prove to be too much. Kills the racks. Reapers are moving in. They might just commit in just to kill the drones. Gets one. So by nice control. Okay, we cannot afford to lose these workers. If we do, that's gonna be game. No, no. Does pull away. Pulls away. Queen still came with the production. Another mule here at the CC. Reapers that turn around. I feel like we could have danced a little bit more with this. I feel like we could have made use of these Reapers and their HP. Dipped in, throw down some KDA charges, and dip away. Taking like one Spine Crawler shot. Marines have been amassing. There's too much. The Queens, they're in danger. Oh my god, Clutch Transfuse. Yeah, Clutch Transfuse, all 3 Marines go down. The Queens, they hold their own. GG. The question mark. GG. And with that, DefMars takes game number 3. Whew. GG, well played. DefMars is claiming again. The Queens, they're crazy. They can transfuse each other. Oh no. But in the end, GG, well played. ZaRDieNT, he was so close to breaking through. I still feel like he could have made use of juggling his Reapers and maybe have killed a couple of drones, but killing every drone was maybe going to be a tough ask there for ZaRDieNT. Alas, in the end, he did try to turn back around, went for the dive on the Queens, couldn't quite take it. GG. GG, well played. DefMars now 1 game away. 1 game away from claiming the series. Let's go. Una más. ZaRDieNT could probably juggle the Reapers against the Spine. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. I do feel like he could have made use of the HP of the Reapers and the regeneration to poke in, kill a drone, be hit by the Spine, and pull the Reaper away, pull it away, and just keep going there and killing like 1, 2, 3 drones, and potentially killing all. And then we can end up in a game state where if you can kill all the workers, and if you're stuck on less than 50 minerals, then, I mean, you can either force a draw or eventually win the game. So there was potentially a win condition there, potentially. But regardless, GG. GG, well played. With that, DefMars does take a lead in the series, and we have potentially 1 more game to go. DefMars, he needs 1 más to claim the win. Meanwhile, ZaRDieNT needs 1 more win here to force the ace match. Let's go. Let's go. And so it looks like we're still deciding on that final map, on the next map. Looks like there might be some technical issues. So relogging. Okay, yeah, we're good. What map haven't we really seen today? We're going to be loading into Adetronity's Edge. I feel like we've only seen cheese on Adetronity's Edge. Like, we have yet to experience, like, any kind of mid-game play. Same with Verdant Temple as well. And we have seen nothing of Rorschach. Feels bad, man. Fun fact patches. I think Rorschach might be one of the most vetoed TLMC maps so far. Like I have yet to... I think I maybe casted one game on Rorschach. Maybe once? Same with Voidstorm. Voidstorm I don't think I've casted at all on. So Voidstorm and Rorschach, players have been avoiding those two maps like a plague, which is understandable. But it's a bit of a shame because I want to see those healing pads come into play, but... Every time we have a tournament with Voidstorm or with Rorschach, we just never get to see them. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner here of Attorney's Edge, we have the green Terran player, the green Terran himself, representing Team Hyper 1. Down in the series, can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is ZaRDieNT. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the blue Zerg player, himself, representing 3D Clan. It is DefMars. Let's go. Let's play a lot during the test tournament, 22 times, if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's, I mean, Wardy has the advantage of, Wardy, he does force maps. If you are unaware, for the test tournament, he does often force maps or limit certain pools to actually force players to actually play and test kind of like the wider pool available to them. So that's good. Or at least he used to. I'm assuming he still does for the TLMC tournament. I'm assuming. Meanwhile, 2-Rex Reaper. We do have our first Rex at the wall. We do have another Rex behind this. Opening up 2-Rex Reaper initially. And we'll see if we can get into 3. See how hard ZaRDieNT does double down. If I recall correctly, he only forces if the map is super unplayed. Okay. Because I know he has done it before. Which is understandable. Like, again, the purpose of the tournament is to showcase maps. Was on with Houseman, yeah. There you go. As the Drone Scout does confirm both Raxes, we do see 2-Rax Reaper out of ZaRDieNT. And DefMars back at home should be going for the early chamber. Yep, there it is. Early chamber. Does it cost anything to morph in Swarm Queens? Or is it just a time factor? Looks like it does cost minerals. Okay. Does cost 75 minerals. So I was curious about. The Evo chamber is now done. So far the Queen does try to hold its own. Oh! Does get a couple of hits in. Second Queen does move down, and now we can morph in. There we go. We can morph in the Queens. Reavers, they rotate into the main. A tumor has been placed. And can we get a drone kill? Behind this, we're building up to the upgrades. We're committing. 1 base play. 2 Maxes, 1 factory. 2 drones are going to go down. We get 3. Oof, it's getting a bit out of hand. 3 drone kills so far. Getting it to 4. Getting it to 5. Oh. Yeah, 5 drones. DefMars, a lack of control here. Doesn't morph in any spores. Takes a lot of damage early on. Behind this, we have another set of Queens. And ZaRDieNT does expand. So no all-in. It's very committed on 1 base. But he will be expanding behind this and building up into U238 shells. Or U238 rounds. Totally not confusing, by the way. Totally not confusing. It's fine. It's fine. As I will give the Reapers a little bit more strength, a little bit more longevity coming into the mid game. The upgrade does mean that the Reaper has extra range and does bonus damage to light. Increased range by 1. By 1. So we have more Reaper Hellion. I'm sure that at a certain point, ZaRDieNT's going to be very tempted to dive into a mineral line. And so far, it does threaten the Queens. More Swarm Queens morphing in. All the Swarm Queens. And here comes the split. Hellions towards the natural, Reapers into the main. And once again, nothing in position. More drone kills. 3 more drones, 5 earlier, so 7 in total. We got another 5, 6 drones, 7 drones. Oh my god, this is getting out of hand. It's becoming too much. Yeah, this is critical damage here. 11 drones going down. Is that just too much? Is that far too much? Behind the ZvT, he's making SCVs, he's muling. 11 drone kills, 16 kills in total. That is far too much, and DefMars is all in. Yep, that's game-ending damage. So DefMars is completely all in. He's waddling across the map. He's flooding Lings as well. This is going to be 1 defensive cyclone that will help. That's what the all in. Oh no. Question transfuse. Jesus, so many KDA charges. So many charges. Transfuse still does barely connect. Does save the queen. But we are running out of transfuse. Behind this we drone? No shot. DefMars, he's droning. It's too late. It's too late to drone back. He's trying though. Yeah, DefMars is supply blocked. Still trying to move in. Welcome here on one of the queens. And DefMars, can he break through? Can he do it? I mean, again, imagine if he hadn't drawn, if he had more Lings on the way here, that he might have enough to get on top of the Cyclones. Let's break the lock on. 1 queen is going to be targeted down. Oof. It doesn't transfuse. Queen does fall, gets into the mineral line. But there are still 2 Cyclones. And they focus on the queens. They focus on the queens. Down to 3. Down to 2. 2 queens remaining. Ooh, takes out one of the Cyclones. Takes on a Cyclone. Another does arrive, and with that, ZaRDieNT defense. ZaRDieNT, he does defend. Behind this, we do see DefMars has been droning, has been resaturating, and to be fair, he has done enough economic damage here to even things up. So we have a game. We have a game. We have a back and forth. DefMars doesn't really have any tech to work with. He has link speed, and that's it. So it is still at a deficit. ZaRDieNT still has an insane army. ZaRDieNT still has the advantage, at least when it comes to the main army here. Can we lock onto the queens? We can. Yeah, lock onto the queen. Queen does pull away. Just barely. Barely pulls away. Reapers, they get into the main base once. Again, 7, 8 drone kills. Ay. Still brutal damage in the main. And at the natural as well. Yeah, again, DefMars just being outscaled. He's just being outscaled here. Cyclones, they trade so well against the queens, and every queen is going to fall. GG gets called, and ZaRDieNT ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played against ZaRDieNT. He got out of hand, got out of control. DefMars, his early game defense was lacking. Very much so lacking there, as he was, even though he had minerals, he was unable to morph in any spores. He was unable to save any drones. His drone count was so incredibly low, as he lost 16 drones at the start of the game. We assumed that he was just going to go for the all-in, but he tried to macro. He tried to macro out of it, which was a bold decision to go for. In the end, it meant that his push was lackluster, and he was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into game number 5. The ace match going to be loading into ZvT Temple. Cool. Should have pulled the boys with the queen walk. I mean, I at least thought he was going to at least commit to the all-in, but he was droning. He was droning as he was walking, which was insane. Not saying that if he had link flooded behind it completely that would have won him the game, but I didn't really see a way to try to macro out of that game state. But regardless, we're getting into the ace match. We're going to be loading into ZvT Temple. Let's go. We'll see if we can embrace a longer game, as in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself representing 3D Clan. It is DefMars. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the green Terran player, the green Terran himself, representing Team Hyper 1. It is ZaRDieNT. Let's go. Let us go. As eyes are on the drone, drone does move out across the map, and we'll see if we commit into any kind of proxy here within the natural base. We did see that last time. Drone does harass, DefMars does expand, no shenanigans. No shenanigans, not this time. Going for his own standard opener, just being annoying. Behind this is once again 2-rank Reaper. 2-rank Reaper out of ZaRDieNT. Again, the Reapers have been working very nicely for ZaRDieNT here in the early game. DefMars, he will scout the second ranks, he knows. He's now fully aware of the Reapers coming his way. We should be seeing the early Evo chamber. Now, I would imagine that it should be a cleaner defense this time just because there's only one way into the main. You have to go past the natural. So the main base is a little bit less accessible. It's not as easy to rotate from the natural into the main expansion. So it should be a cleaner defense here by DefMars. Should be, but it still comes down to the player. Still comes down to DefMars. Comes down to his control, his positioning, his micro. So we gotta lock in. Gotta lock in. Once again, just emphasizing what we mentioned previously, but if you want to get into the main base, typically there'd be a Reaper Cliff at the third location, but here there is no Reaper Cliff directly into the main, like on the previous map. You have to go through the natural. Likewise, we have a double layered wall here on the right hand side with the tumor and with the rocks as well. Double layered. DefMars, he's droning up. I say droning, sorry, he does drone up somewhat here. Queens are on the way. There's the Evo chamber for the eventual Swarm Queens. And the Reapers are soon to be upon us. Reapers are moving. Ooh, the drone is going to be shut down. Early pickoff here. Better start for ZaRDieNT. Kills the drone. And we are going for a very early Roach Warren. We're still mining gas. No link speed. Looks like we're going for a Roach all-in. I say Roach all-in. We could go for like, say, 3-4 Ravagers and like a link flood behind it. Assuming we're going to link speed. Regardless, hyper aggression out of DefMars, and this also kind of layers on top of what we mentioned previously. The main base is harder to scout. Remember, there's no Reaper Cliff directly into the main, so hiding tech and going for all-ins is stronger on Verdant Temple. Oh, tries to get in, and he does. Okay, he does not get in. Reaper goes down. Scout is denied. ZaRDieNT sees nothing. He sees nothing. He knows nothing. Behind this, going for his own stim. Oh, he's going into stim. He's not going into mech. For the first time this series. For the first time tonight, even. Okay. Is going to be bio. Now, my concern here is that this... actually, it was a faster factory. It's not a regular 2-on-1. There's a safety cyclone as well. Curious. Like, a regular 2-on-1 would mean that there's no Hellions, there's no Cyclones, and I'd be more concerned for the Terran player against a Roach all-in. But here, we're actually making safety cyclones. Like, this is a really quirky build, so... there's going to be a little bit more to work with. Likewise, across the map, we have the lair on the way into Roach speed, into what should be a 2-base Roach all-in. Off of 2-base saturation with gases, and with a 3rd base just for lava. Reapers A once again. No, they get in! Yeah, they do slip in. And they do manage to get a scout off. Yeah, this was a slip up here from DefMars. The Reapers, they scout everything, confirming the lair timing, the Roach Warren, the Evo chamber. They get into the mineral line. One drone goes down. Means they try to intercept. They get one, they get two. They get 2 Reapers. And we should force the mid-game here. Should force the mid-game. What I mean by that is that, sure, we have a very aggressive follow-up here. We have a 3-1-1 setup, which is very dedicated on 2 bases. That is true. But because of the early Roach Warren and the commitment to Roach Ravager, I would imagine that DefMars should have enough to defend and to deal with this eventual move-out. Which would force our players to expand and build up into the mid-game. But we'll see. We shall see. As our players are still securing their armies. They're still building up. Our players are saturating. It's hard to say, where are we going? Just going for the add-on swap into reactive Metamax. Overseer does confirm the buy-in. Does confirm the 3-1-1 setup. Medevacs are on the way. When they come out, then we can push. Just waiting for the medevacs. Likewise, DefMars is massing up his own Road Ravager. He went up to 2-base saturation. 3rd base is very late for DefMars, but again, I imagine he was just expecting aggression as well. So late expansions, later economy for both players. 2 more Raxes feels like a 2-base all-in. We're getting up to 5 Raxes on 2 bases, so a massive delay on the 3rd CC. We were already dedicated on 2 bases, now even more committed. Borderline 2-base all-in. If DefMars drones too much, then he might just die. For now, he's getting up to 2.5 base saturation. We have Road Ravager amassing, getting into Ling Bane Road Ravager. Maybe that got spotted. Road speed just now starting. Oh, okay. It's a little bit concerning. As for now, creep is being denied. Just a slight presence here, even catching us on the roaches. Flash transfuse. Gotta be careful. So step in, they do catch one of the queens. And nice pick up. 1 queen goes down. Here comes the main push. Here comes a 2-base all in. We're going to be reinforced with more tanks and liberators as well. Just rattling everything across the map. And there's no Ravagers to defend. Without Ravagers, there's nothing to punish the tanks. This might just be too much. Yeah, this might be too much here. DefMars, he's taking up a little bit too much himself, going into his only main Road Ravager. Bailing speed is on the way, but it's going to be kicking in too late. It's going to be too late here. Ravagers now finally morphing in, but they're so delayed. Tanks are pushing forward. Again, there's no punish. They're wedging themselves in between the bases. Queens are trying to move in. 1 queen goes down, and now we commit. We have to commit here. Piles on the Bio Army? Oof. Ravagers looks like they're barely holding their own. They're trying to get on top of the tanks. It's still very messy. Very messy. They get 1. They get 2. Barely get 3. It's not worth it, though. Yeah, it's not worth it in the end. ZaRDieNT, he breaks on through. He breaks through the roaches. Breaks through the Ravagers. And ZaRDieNT, has he done it? Yeah, it looks like he has. The guy's mining at the 3rd. No anti-air. No queens remaining. And we're looking to force the rematch. Oh god. Ah no. The reset match. Can we force it? Forcing friendly fire. Okay. A bit of friendly fire. Ravagers are going for the bile. 2 biles are not going to be enough. Just barely get on top of the tank. Whew. Okay, the drones are kept alive. True. Drones are still alive. Liberator into the main base was cleaned up. Drone save rotated towards the 4th base. Okay, so we actually have proper 3-base saturation. Remember, ZaRDieNT's all in. ZaRDieNT, he has to kill. And the fact that he didn't deal any critical economic damage does put ZaRDieNT in a really rough position. DefMars, he's on 71 drones. And he's still teching, by the way. He's getting an infestation pit. He's crazy. We need an army. What? Oh my god. Por favor. He just droned. He's crazy. I mean, I think he gets away with it, but that was insane. He drones in the face of the all-in. Punish him, but kill him. Oh my god. That's illegal. Yeah, Lings are being cleaned up. Again, there's barely an army here. Queen's falling, Roach is falling as well, but no, he does force a lift. DefMars, he's getting away with it. He gets away with the droning. He's crazy. Ay, ay, ay. And that was ZaRDieNT's moment. That was his moment to kill. That was his moment to end the game. He fails to do so. And the Super's lying to you. He's still droning, but he's still making 7 more drones. Oh, I mean, now there's a reason why. Nice liberate harass. 9 drones going down. But again, we've still been droning so much here. The main army is lacking. Like, this army is lacking. Because he just kept making more drones. We need an army. Okay, 22 Lings on the way. Making 22 more Lings. ZaRDieNT taking his expansion, expanding away from his opponents. Taking his 3rd. ZvT, he has momentum. He's pushing forward. If given time, DefMars can overwhelm, but he needs more time here. Again, he was just so greedy. DefMars trying to collapse in. We get some okay Bane connections, but we need more Ling Bane. Yeah, not enough Ling Bane here. Too much greed. I say that Lings are barely being cleaned up. Oof. 3 Ravagers remaining. DefMars, it looks like he's been missing injections. Yeah, there's no injection in the main base. No injection here at the 3rd. No injection at the 4th. He's lacking larva. Like he had 800 minerals, 1,000 gas. He's got a hive on the way. Like what are we doing? What are we doing? I'm reminded of Rowdy. I'm getting some Rowdy PTSD flashbacks of like backseat coaching. I like to believe he's listening somewhere out there. Rowdy's a good friend, but we'd be backseating, and like there'd be like an all-in coming. He'd scout, he'd confirm the all-in. Then he throws down like 2 Evo chambers and infestation pit, and he starts like taking up. It's like, mate, what's going on? Like, what are we doing, Pappy? Ay. I mean, hey, DefMars, he does barely hold, true, but these have been very, very clutch holds, and every single time he bleeds out drones. Like 9 more drones going down. So even then, his droning has been being punished, which makes him drone up more, which means he has less of an army for the push. Ay. It's like right now we don't need a hive. That's not what we need. Catching up 5 drones. 5 drones do go down. Once again, DefMars, he is missing some injects. Yep. Once again, no inject in the main, at the natural, or at the 3rd base. We need inject. We need larva. We need to spend our money. We need some more Roach Ravager to be the backbone of this. We've got 1 Ravager. This army is just so fragile right now. We're taking up into ultras. Again, very greedy. This is the end game, though. This is the win condition. Can we survive until ultra tech? I feel like he shouldn't. He should not survive. He's still droning. I mean, he lost workers, to be fair. Like, he did lose a lot of workers at the Liberators. That's on DefMars. Bailey's rolling in. It's just been very messy. It's been very, very messy. We get some decent splits, decent spread. We have some infestors on the way. Once again, Liberators. The Liberator harass has been insane, actually. How many drones have gone down this game? 37 drone kills. Almost purely from Liberators. It's insane. More Queens hitting courts. Show us some fungals. Ooh, doesn't connect. Lands the other fungal, but there's no follow-up. Yeah, there's no follow-up here. The fungal was wasted. Does catch the tank. Tank goes down. We should not be out here. Yo, DefMars, what are you doing? What are we... Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Come back home. ZaRDieNT has had just a secure 3-base setup. DefMars still trying to recover, still trying to build back up. It's just been very messy. Very, very messy. To be fair, Hive Larva is pretty good. True. You know what's better? Injections. We could also inject all of our bases. Oh my god. As we are taking up, we have 3-3 on the way. We have Candace plating on the way. DefMars has been building up a bank just because he hasn't been spending his resources here and he hasn't been spending his larva. So he's building up a bank and he has enough for that ultra switch. But if we don't spend our money soon, we could just topple over. Yeah, fungal lands. Once again, there's no real follow-up yet. Chain fungal. Oof. Does another fungal here. DefMars is holding on. And here come the ultras. Now we can spend our resources. Ultra production has begun. Which I believe DefMars is not quite ready for. Jump into ZaRDieNT. quite ready for. Now claiming his own 4th base. The economy is still lacking for DefMars. Earlier he was droning. We were being critical of his greed, but he's been losing a lot of workers to Liberators, and he's not been able to replace them. That's also not hindering him. It's just very scrappy. Very, very scrappy game. Oh, the mine shot! Oof. Through connection. Mine shot pops off. We're trying to give chase. Kindness plating is done. And we catch other tanks. Oh my god, takes another mine shot to the face. The mine shot's back. Mine shots are brutal. I appreciate the crease red at least. Lands another fumble. Does land. 3-3 is not yet done. Ultras are being focused down, losing another Ultra. Down to 3. But has he done it? He breaks through. Yeah, he takes down the army. The final army does go down. He gets across the map. It's only 3 Ultras, but he gets in. He gets in, Bappy. Oh no. As he takes down the mineral line. Oof, down to 2 Ultralisks. Down to 2. But he's done it. Oh my god. Angie Professor goes down. Pings up the final units. We do have a drop top left. Oh, but there are defenses. Yeah, there are defenses back at home. We have the safety infestor. We got the Ultra as well. DefMars, he defends, he attacks, and DefMars, he's done it. It was very scrappy, very messy, by the way. There were multiple moments where ZaRDieNT almost won, where he almost just straight up killed DefMars. It was very, very messy, very, very shaky. GG and DefMars, he will claim the series 3-2, advancing on and becoming this week's Patches Patch Clash 5.4K edition champion. GG. GG, well played. DefMars, he had something, sorry, ZaRDieNT had something to say at the end. The queens, they're clowns, Bappy. Oh no. I mean, the Swarm Queens are quite good, but at the same time, regular queens are awful. Like, we saw that time and time again. That allowed for Mass Reaper to be as viable as it was throughout the course of the series due to the vulnerability of the queens and due to the need of those Swarm Queens as well. So it led into like some very aggressive games, very aggressive, very chaotic early games as well. GG, well played with that. Congratulations here to DefMars as well as claim the series. My condolences to ZaRDieNT, but a shout to ZaRDieNT as well because hey, he made it to the finals. Did make a series out of it as well, and I'll be honest, he could have won this game. There were a couple of moments where he pulled back where I felt like he could have pressed his advantage, where we saw that DefMars was barely defending, just barely, and he was on the brink of being broken then and there, like 2, 3, 4 different times in that game. So again, this could have gone ZaRDieNT's way as well. Could have, barely did not. GG, well played. Whew. There we go. Queens weren't that important outside of the other game there. I mean, sure, yeah. I think most people watching, I feel like that's apparent. Like, it's just ZaRDieNT venting. Yeah, it's fine. Venting, Pappy, venting. But GG, well played, and with that, so we are wrapping up here for our morning broadcast. Congratulations here to DefMars, and a shout out to Patches for making this monstrosity of a patch, of a mod. Like, it's... Ah, no, not like this. And we got to experience a little bit of mid to late game, a little bit. Still a lot that went unseen and unscouted, but regardless, GG, well played, and with that... Oh. With that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the morning. Heading on over here to the rest of our schedule, we do have, likewise, if you want to see more of this, Patches does host these events on a regular basis. He does have the Open Cup version and the limited MMR version as well, on a semi-regular basis, so you can check it out over on Patches' respective streams. I know that sometimes Patches does cast it, sometimes we have like Dave Testa covering the event, or El Chanchito. I think Pig. I know that Pig plays the Green Arts mod. He might have played some Patches mod as well. So El Chanchito, and maybe some other commentators as well. We haven't covered it in quite some time. If we lose 40 drones, Mega Ultra. True. You lost so many workers to liberators. But regardless, GG, well played. With that, we're going to be wrapping up. So again, thank you so much. Shout out to Patches. Patches, more notoriously known for being a map maker, but by day, but by night, he cooks in the kitchen. This god-awful mod. We're joking. We love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a breath of fresh air as well. And hey, it's great to see some of these players embrace it that much more and enjoy it and take advantage of it as well. Thankfully, we don't have too many Perceives, where Perceive does the best he can to avoid using any of the new features, meanwhile other players do embrace it. So big shout out to Patches, and also big shout out, thank you so much for the $6.90 donation. The tip, Pappy, thank you so much for the tip. Gracias. Thank you. As with that, we're going to be wrapping up for the morning. When it comes to our weekly schedule, we've been very busy as of late with GSL. As you can see here, we have more GSL action as well. This was last week's schedule. To be fair, we finally had the TLMC 22 finalist stream, and we should soon be having a TLMC or a seasonal kind of retrospective on the current map pool and on the previous TLMC 21 kind of predictions that we had as well. That'll be on the horizon. Meanwhile, we've been busy with GSL. GSL, the renovators this week, and we do live cast. For those who do not know, we do live cast GSL over on Soup. Bearing in mind that we are not allowed, no one is allowed to live stream GSL on Twitch or YouTube. We live stream on Soup instead, and we do actually rebroadcast the VOD a couple of days later over the weekend. So the live casting is on Wednesday and Thursday. The rebroadcast is on Saturday and Sunday. The reasoning for that is because there is a cooldown period where we have to wait 48 hours. We have to wait 48 hours, otherwise the VOD gets taken down. So we have to wait 48 hours after the live event, and then we can showcase the VOD afterwards. So VODs are going to be released over the weekend. Live casting is, of course, live over on Soup on Wednesday and Thursday. This week we have the Big Azor Cup. We have Big Azor Cup replay cast tomorrow. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup on Tuesday. We have the Wardy TV Monday. That is later on tonight, of course, Monday evening. And we also have more Big Azor Cup action. We have someone else was talking about StarCraft Evolution 2v2. That is going to be on the 8th. That is going to be the 8th of May. And we also have, what else we have? We have the Pondcast on Friday. Has been moved because of GSL. We have Ducklings open over the weekend, and we have some Euthermal 2v2 action at the end of the week as well. Again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, more than Wardy, more than Steadfast. We hold the title of most amount of content. We have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some rest. I'm gonna go get some sleep and try to get a nap in before the Wardy cast. You can hear me. I was already slurring my words a little bit. I barely got any sleep. We were admitting the Euthermal event last night. I got like 4 hours sleep, so I did not get to get much sleep at all. So I'm gonna get a nap, rest up, and get into some more casting. As always, all the casting, all the StarCraft, man. So again, busy schedule. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Oh right, Kung Fu Cup. True. We also have Kung Fu Cup as well. There's a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. Kung Fu Cup, StarCraft Evolution, GSL, Big Azor Cup, Tuna Cups, Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, Wardy TV Mondays, and more. Many more. Even events like this, even events like the Patches Patch Clash or Amanthus or Code for Giants Cup, all the StarCraft. For now, though, gonna be heading off. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, much love to Patches for supporting us. The Soup, yes. Hold on! Exclamation mark Soup in the chat. Soup is Afrika TV. Afrika did rebrand as Soup like a year ago, 2 years ago. So you can check it out over on Soup. It's a lot of StarCraft. See, Pappy, see. There's too much StarCraft, Pappy. Too much. Nah. If I could cast more, I would, but I've reached my limits, especially nowadays because I do have some pet bunnies, so I do have some other obligations, so don't get to cast as much as we used to. We used to cast like twice a day every day. Now we cast like twice a day every other day, so we're calming it down a little bit. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for some Wardy TV Monday, or we'll see you guys tomorrow for some Big Azor Cup. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Until next time, ciao, bye, ciao, hasta luego. See you next time. See you next time.